Hello again, everybody. Anita here, and this is actually my second installment of the BBCNC. I had some other videos I posted yesterday after I started this channel, but that was just me out and about. But this is the actual second video I've done on the actual beach, having my coffee. So please join me for some coffee, or whatever it is that you might feel like drinking, but my drink of choice is always coffee, whether it's hot or cold. But today I wanted to just kind of tell you, since I've got a better setup, yesterday I had to hold the camera the whole time and it was just a mess. But if you happen to see my other videos, I did go out and buy a little basket that I can set this thing up on to keep it more stable, so I'm not sitting here doing this the whole time, because I know that's very distracting and everything, and put shadows on me and stuff, and it's still, not perfect, but I'm on a beach, and so I don't have, a big fancy setup. And like I was saying in my very first video, this is totally off the cuff. I don't plan it. I'm not scripting it or anything. I'm just here, just wanting to share my life with you. And I live in Thailand, for anyone who maybe hasn't seen any of the other videos that I posted yesterday. And I live very close to the beach, so I could walk down to the beach from where I live, but I'd really prefer to get on my bike and ride, a little further down and come down here. It's really nice. There's no one here. There's a few people that's way down that way, and other than that, I'm here all by myself, which I enjoy. I like it. It allows me to just, relax and not be bothered. So, but I wanted to kind of tell you a little bit about me. My husband and I moved here at the end of October in 2011. It's now April of 2017. And we've kind of lived in different places. We started out in Bangkok area. Not directly in Bangkok, but, we're an offshoot of it. So we started out there. And then we moved to a place called Ranong, which was just very bizarre. That place was kind of in the middle of nowhere. It was pretty. There were a lot of jungle areas around, but there was nothing to do there, nowhere to go. And at that time, we didn't have a car. Jim had a motorcycle, and I didn't have a bike. And that's when I really started wanting to get a bike, because when we were there, I was literally stuck at home all the time in the middle of nowhere. And I would have to walk every day to go to this little teeny tiny little store that I could actually walk to buy things like ice, sugar, stuff like that. But they had practically nothing there because it was such a small little place. And it wasn't really where we wanted to be. It was a really nice house we were renting out there, and it was beautiful, but it rained all the time. That is an area that it pretty much rains almost the entire year there. It's crazy. So it kind of got depressing after a while for me, because I'm somebody who really loves sunshine. I love sun, and I like bright, happy days. So anyway, we eventually ended up moving here down further south by the beach, and this is Phnom, Thailand. And I really do like it here. I really do. Um, Ever since I was a small child, I wanted to live by the beach. I mean, as far back as I can remember, that's all I thought about. And I mean, I fantasized about it for years. You know, I'd pretend that I lived at the beach. I mean, even when I was a small kid, you know, we'd get one of those little plastic wading pools, and I would fill it up with water, and I'd pretend that was the ocean, you know, and I would, you know, go outside and imagine, fantasize about it. So it was really a lifelong dream to be in a place like this. And I always loved tropical locations. You know, I'd always look at pictures and stuff. Palm trees, because I've always had a huge love for palm trees. And so now, got them. I don't know if you can see that. We've got palm trees in the ocean, and it's wonderful. But I have to admit, I mean, part of the reason why I'm starting this right now is that I was really starting to get homesick. You know, after being here so long and not being able to learn the language and not having friends or anything, it's like, it's just me and Jim and my cats. You know, it's just us. I mean, he has family here, but, you know, they're kind of scattered all over Thailand. Because he's half Thai, for those of you who don't know. And that's part of the reason why we ended up coming to Thailand. But, you know, I don't have anybody that I've talked to or socialized with. And so if it hadn't been for Facebook, you know, I just would be completely disconnected from the world. So it's nice to have that outlet, you know, to connect with people. But lately I've just been really feeling, you know, this major pull, like I wanted to go back home. But it's just not feasible right now. I mean, it's just going to cost a whole lot of money to try to get back. And there's nowhere to go back to. I mean, it's like when we left, we sold everything. You know, we were actually living in an RV, which was great. And that's a whole nother story, because I actually loved living in that RV. It was an old one, too. It was like, I forget what year, you know, 85 or something. I don't know, but it was just great. I loved it. But we had to sell that, and we sold, you know, practically everything we owned, you know, just brought with us things that really were important to us to get started here. But I've just been kind of missing it, you know, and there's a lot of stuff that I can't really get here that, you know, would be typical normal stuff that you could get in the States. And, you know, you could just, you know, if you're sitting at home and you realize, oh crap, I'm out of such and such, you know, you could just run up to 7-Eleven and get it, you know. We have 7-Eleven here, but unfortunately it's not like 7-Eleven back home. So you can't just run up there and just get what you need, you know. And because of this being such a small town, it's really limited on what you can get. So for certain things that I actually can get, we have to go out of town to get it. And so, I mean, like my coffee. Here, most people drink instant coffee. So, like, if you go out, you can't go and just buy a coffee maker, you know. You can't just go out and say, oh, you know, I need a new coffee maker, and you just run down the street and, you know, go to Walmart or something and buy one. You can't do that here. So, you know, it's like to find a coffee maker, you either have to drive out of town and then hope that you'll find some place that actually sells one, or you can order one online, because there is a place. It's called Lazada, and it's here in Thailand, and they have a ton of stuff that you can order, which is really cool. You know, all kinds of things. I mean, they even have bicycles on there too. But so, you know, people don't drink regular coffee, so you can't buy regular coffee, you know, just up the street generally. So I usually have to go out of town. I mean, we have a mall. It's called the mall, but it's not really. Not like a mall like what we're typically used to. So sometimes they will have brewable coffee that you can buy there. But it sometimes be months and months and months before they get any back in if they sell out of it. Because actually I had found some, bought it, was so excited because I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. They actually got regular coffee here. Then went back and they didn't have it for like a year. I mean, no joke. It was like a year before they got more in, which was just the other day. I went in there to get some stuff, thought I would check, because I check every time I go in just to see. And sure as world, they had 2 boxes, which, 2 small boxes. So I grabbed those suckers up. I was like, yes, because I really don't have, the gas in the car to drive out of town to go get the coffee, because I can get it at another town, but it's crazy. So yeah, instant coffee is the coffee of choice here. So, and most people buy these little packets of instant coffee. It's called 3-in-1, so it's got like sugar and creamer or something. It's got all this stuff already in it. I tried that stuff. Oh no. No offense to anybody, but for somebody who's always drank, brewed coffee, it just is not. It doesn't work for me. It just, for me, it's just, ugh. And it's really strong, way stronger than what I would drink it. So, for a normal person, they'd probably use that 1 packet for 1 cup of coffee. But for me, I would break it up into at least 2 cups, because it's just like, Got my pink thermos, which I love. And that's another thing. I had to search forever. Over a year it took me to find a pink thermos for my coffee. I couldn't believe how hard it was to find one. Searched all over online and everything. Couldn't find them. And then Jim's mom came to visit back in February. And we went to this place that I call the TARDIS. Everything here has a name I make up for it, because I have no idea what the actual name of the place is. Except the mall, it's called A1. But everything else, it's like, I don't know what it's called, so I associate it with something else. I call it the TARDIS because when you come to this place, on the outside, it looks really small. I mean, it doesn't look like it's any big deal. You walk inside and it's gigantic. So if anybody watches Doctor Who, you'll know what the TARDIS is. It's like the TARDIS is this, police box. It's small. And you go inside and it's this gigantic, thing that the doctor goes around in. And anyway, so I went to the TARDIS with Jim's mom, and we're looking around at all this stuff. And I looked over and I saw this thing and I just was like, oh my God. I was so excited, I couldn't believe it. I had to buy it. I was just beyond belief excited. So, anyway, but yeah, I've been feeling a lot of homesickness lately. Just, missing my mom and missing my sister and just missing normal things like McDonald's. Okay, I mean, we have McDonald's here, but again, you have to go like way out of town. You have to drive like an hour to get to a McDonald's. And they don't even sell quarter pounders with cheese here. Can you believe that? They sell Big Macs, but no quarter pounders with cheese, which has always been my favorite. Even finding hamburgers here is really difficult because it's like they don't really sell beef. If you want to buy beef, you have to go to the local market Wednesday morning and Saturday morning only. And I'm talking like early in the morning, because these markets start at like, 3 o'clock in the morning or something, and then end by like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. So you got to be there really early if you want to get anything. So You know, if you want beef, you got to get up and go to the market. And it took me a long time to find that out, because forever you just can't find beef anywhere. They just don't sell it. People here, they eat fish, pork, and chicken. That's it. So yeah, it's taken a lot of adjustments getting used to this. But anyway, as these videos go on, I mean, I'm just kind of talking about whatever. Just kind of telling you about me and, you know, how I got here. That's kind of how I got here. And I'm hoping that, you know, at some point I can do some live videos so that, you know, I can maybe interact with some people on here. Don't know when I should really try that, because at this point this is a new channel and not many people know about it. So just started it yesterday. But I hope it will grow. I really do, because I mean, I'm excited about it. This is the first time I've really had something to be excited about for a while. I've been through a really rough time. I mentioned yesterday on my first beach video that, you know, I have cats, and I have a cat page on Facebook. It's called Cats Are the Greatest Things Ever. There is a link you can click on this channel. It's got a Facebook link, and if you click on that, it actually takes you to that page. And I was rescuing cats. I was rescuing all these cats, and at the end of November last year, they started all dying. I mean, just dying, one right after the other, literally one right after the other. I had 2 die within an hour of each other. It was a horrible nightmare, and veterinary care here is just unbelievable. You can't really get it. I mean, in Bangkok, you might be able to get some good vet care, but you can't get it here. This is another thing, you know, I can talk about some other time. But anyway, we also lost our dog that we had with us, we brought from the States. He died as well during this time. So from the end of November until March 31st, I've lost 10 animals. 9 cats and 1 dog. So I'm starting to really fall into a depression. Just really, you know, not happy, and really wanted to go home, but it's just not going to happen for a while. I don't know when I can, you know, make that happen, but for now, I got to try to make the best of what I've got, and so that's why I started to do this. So I hope this isn't too boring for you, but, you know, a lot of people on my cat page are always asking me, you know, how did you get to Thailand? You know, tell me more about it. I want to know, you know, I want to see more, hear more, you know, and so I thought, well, okay, let's just give this a try. You know, I'm passionate about certain things, and they always say, you know, do what you love. And that's something I've always wanted to do is, you know, why can't I be doing something that I'm really passionate about, that I really love? That's what I was trying to do with the cat rescue, but when they started dying off the way they did, it was just like, okay, maybe that's not the right direction to go. Because it was too heartbreaking. I mean, it was tearing me up. So I'm typically a very happy person, which one of these days I'm going to tell you all about that stuff too. I got to find out if I can, because I know YouTube's really funny about, you know, things that you do. You can get in trouble for stuff, and I got to make sure that, you know, I got permission to tell you about this stuff. It has to do with energy profiling. I can say that, I think. Anyway, I'm a type 1. Okay, I hope I can say that too. I don't know. I hope I don't get in trouble. But anyway, I'll tell you about it some other time. Anyhow, I don't know if I should continue on with this. It's already almost 20 minutes, and I didn't mean to ramble on, but I just really, you know, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to come to the beach, have some coffee, and talk to you. Kind of tell you about me and Thailand and what's going on and that kind of thing. So after I'm done here, which might be soon, because today they're calling for rain and the clouds are rolling in. It's kind of nice because I'm not being completely beaten down by the heat. I'm gonna hop on my bike, run back home real quick, check on everything there, and then I gotta go run my errands. Hopefully before it starts raining. Because lately I've been doing all my errand running on my bike. Going all over on my bike. which I love. So thank you for joining me, and I hope that you will come back again. And if you would just please remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you could click on that little bell to be notified whenever I upload new videos so that you'll know that there's new stuff to watch. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you again real soon. Have a good one, everybody. We will see y'all later. Bye.